In the vast expanse of space, peace is often more fragile than a crystal suspended over a chasm. For millennia, humanity has upheld a delicate balance between diplomacy and latent military power. This long peace has been watched closely by galactic civilizations who see Earth as a beacon of restraint. Through cunning negotiation and unyielding discipline, Earth's diplomats have managed to prevent wars, dissolve skirmishes, and foster alliances that span the breadth of known space. Beyond the warm handshakes and peace accords lies a hidden reality: humanity's military strength, a colossal force lying dormant, a reminder that peace is not a product of weakness but of controlled power. The true extent of Earth's military capabilities remains shrouded in mystery, known only to a select few who bear the burden of this knowledge with solemn responsibility. As humanity's reputation for peace grows, so does the challenge of upholding it. Recently, whispers have spread throughout the galaxy of a new alien race, the Zervani. Emerging from the outer reaches of the Carina Arm, these beings represent a paradigm shift in galactic politics. Highly intelligent and fiercely ambitious, the Zervani seek to reshape the established order of space. They view Earth's long peace as a facade hiding potential weakness, a diplomatic smokescreen that must be stripped away to reveal what they believe lies beneath, a civilization grown soft through centuries of peaceful cooperation. The Zervani leadership, governed by their Supreme Council of Strategic Development, believes that if Earth can be humiliated, the entire intergalactic alliance Earth has helped build will shatter, leaving a power vacuum they can easily fill. Their sophisticated analysis of human history has led them to conclude that humanity's peaceful nature is an anomaly, one that cannot persist in the face of sufficient pressure. Thus begins an intricate game of influence, where Earth's diplomatic fortitude and moral strength will be tested like never before. The stakes extend far beyond Earth's reputation; the very fabric of galactic society hangs in the balance. Ambassador Aurelia Sands stood at the observation deck of the Lunar Diplomatic Center, her reflection ghostly against the reinforced plasteel windows. At 150 years old, her face showed few signs of age thanks to advanced gene therapy, but her eyes carried the weight of countless negotiations and diplomatic crises resolved through patience and wisdom. The Earth hung suspended in the black void before her, a blue jewel that had known peace for longer than any other inhabited world in known space. The sight usually brought her comfort, but today it filled her with unease. The latest diplomatic dispatch from the Zervani lay heavy in her neural interface, its contents troubling her more than she cared to admit. In her private quarters, holographic displays showed the movements of Zervani vessels throughout the galaxy. Their patterns seemed random to the untrained eye, but Aurelia saw the calculated nature of their deployments. Each position represented a subtle pressure point against Earth's allies, a silent threat that spoke volumes about Zervani intentions. General Marcus Vale's holographic form materialized in her office, his military bearing evident even in this incorporeal state. Ambassador, the Iron Shield's latest diagnostics confirm what we suspected. The Zervani have been probing our outer defense grid. Aurelia's expression remained neutral, a skill honed over decades of diplomatic service. And what have they found, Marcus? Exactly what we wanted them to find: nothing but standard planetary defenses. The shield's true capabilities remain hidden. Vale's hologram flickered slightly as he shifted position. But they're getting bolder. Their probe patterns suggest they're looking for something specific. They're looking for weakness, Aurelia replied, turning from the window. They believe that centuries of peace have made us vulnerable. Their cultural paradigm cannot comprehend strength without demonstration. The general's features hardened. Perhaps it's time for a demonstration, then. A controlled reveal of. No. Aurelia's voice carried the weight of command despite its softness. That's exactly what they want. The moment we show military force, we validate their narrative about us. We become what they claim we are: warriors hiding behind words of peace. In another part of the Lunar Diplomatic Center, Taran Hark sat hunched over his workstation, his young features illuminated by the glow of multiple holographic displays. As a junior diplomatic analyst, he had been tasked with decoding the subtle nuances in Zervani communications, a job that had quickly evolved beyond simple linguistic analysis. His latest findings troubled him deeply. Buried within the seemingly standard diplomatic exchanges were patterns that suggested something far more sinister. The Zervani weren't just probing Earth's defenses, they were systematically gathering information about Earth's past conflicts, focusing particularly on incidents that had been classified for centuries. One name kept appearing in their encoded transmissions: Operation Midnight Sunday. Terran's blood ran cold when he realized this was connected to Ambassador Sand's early military career, a period she never discussed. The Zervani shouldn't have known about this operation. The fact that they did suggested a level of intelligence gathering that went far beyond normal diplomatic channels. The Zervani embassy ship approached Earth's orbit with a grace that belied its massive size. Its crystalline structure caught the sunlight in ways that created ever-shifting patterns across its hull, a display that many interpreted as beautiful but Aurelia recognized as a form of psychological warfare, a reminder of the Zervani's technological sophistication. Ambassador Kalayar Vashin's arrival was choreographed with precise theatrical effect. His tall, angular form moved with fluid grace as he descended from his ship onto the lunar surface. The environmental suit he wore seemed unnecessarily ornate, its surface decorated with symbols that documented his clan's military victories, another calculated message. The initial meeting took place in the Grand Chamber of the Lunar Diplomatic Center, a room designed to put all species on equal footing through its careful use of neutral architecture and lighting. Kalayar's first words set the tone for everything that would follow. "Earth's commitment to peace is admirable," he said, his translator rendering his words into perfect standard English. Though one must wonder if admiration is the appropriate response to voluntary constraint. The implied insult was clear, but Aurelia's response remained measured. "Peace through strength requires greater discipline than peace through weakness, Ambassador Kalayar. Something I believe your people understand well." Kalayar's facial markings shifted in what might have been amusement. "Indeed. Though our definitions of strength may differ significantly." His eyes fixed on Aurelia with unsettling intensity. Operation Midnight Sun demonstrated a different kind of strength, did it not, Ambassador? The reference hit Aurelia like a physical blow, though decades of diplomatic training prevented any outward reaction. That operation had been buried under layers of classification so deep that even most of Earth's military leadership didn't know the details. The fact that Kalayar could reference it so casually represented a serious security breach. Meanwhile, General Vale had called an emergency meeting of Earth's Defense Council. The holographic chamber in the heart of the Iron Shield's command center came alive with the representations of Earth's highest-ranking military leaders. "The Zervani have positioned fleet elements near 7 of our allied worlds," Vale reported, manipulating the tactical display to highlight the positions. "Each deployment is just outside the recognized sovereignty zones. Legally, they're doing nothing wrong. Strategically, they're positioning themselves for rapid strikes against our most vulnerable allies." The tactical display shifted, showing the hidden components of the Iron Shield network. Thousands of automated defense platforms, invisible to standard detection methods, stood ready to respond to any aggression. It was humanity's ultimate insurance policy, a defense network so vast and sophisticated that it could stop any known form of attack. But its very existence was a secret that, if revealed, could shatter the peace Earth had worked so hard to maintain. Over the following weeks, the tension between Earth and the Zervani grew more palpable. Kalayar's diplomatic messages became increasingly loaded with double meanings and historical references that cut uncomfortably close to classified information. Each communication was a masterwork of psychological warfare, designed to unsettle and provoke. Terran's analysis revealed a pattern in the Zervani's activities that went beyond mere provocation. They were systematically testing Earth's responses, cataloging each reaction, building a comprehensive profile of humanity's diplomatic and military decision-making processes. Working late one night, Terran discovered something that made him immediately contact Ambassador Sands. Hidden within the standard background radiation of Zervani communications was a sophisticated surveillance network. They weren't just gathering intelligence, they were actively monitoring every major diplomatic installation in Earth-controlled space. The implications were staggering. The Zervani hadn't just discovered Operation Midnight Sun through luck or superior intelligence gathering. They had been watching, listening, and learning for years before making their presence known. Aurelia received this information in her private quarters, her expression growing darker with each detail Terran revealed. Operation Midnight Sun had been her first command, a covert mission that had prevented a war but at a terrible cost. The fact that the Zervani knew about it meant they understood something crucial about humanity and about her personally. The operation had demonstrated that humanity was capable of taking decisive military action when necessary, but chose peace instead. It was proof that Earth's dedication to diplomatic solutions wasn't born of weakness but of wisdom gained through experience. The crisis point arrived sooner than anyone expected. A Zervani fleet conducted exercises dangerously close to one of Earth's oldest allied worlds, Proxima Beta. The show of force caused panic among the local population and sent shockwaves through the Galactic Alliance. In response, General Vale activated certain components of the Iron Shield, maintaining its secrecy but positioning key elements for rapid response if needed. The network of cloaked defense platforms shifted silently into optimal firing positions, ready but invisible. Kalair's next diplomatic message was delivered in person, in the neutral ground of the Lunar Diplomatic Center. "Your allies grow nervous, Ambassador," he said, his tone almost sympathetic. "They begin to question the wisdom of relying on Earth's protection. Perhaps it's time to demonstrate that your peaceful nature isn't merely philosophical weakness?" Aurelia's response was calculated carefully. "Ambassador Kalair, you've studied our history thoroughly enough to know about Operation Midnight Sunday. Then you know that humanity's choice for peace isn't made from a position of weakness." Kalair's expression shifted subtly. "A single operation, decades ago, hardly proves current capability, Ambassador. Times change. Species evolve or devolve, as the case may be." "Indeed they do," Aurelia agreed. "Which is why I find it interesting that your people have positioned themselves exactly where we anticipated you would." The subtle shift in Kalair's posture told her the comment had hit home. The Zervani had thought they were the ones setting the board, but humanity's long experience with peace had taught them to prepare for all contingencies. The final confrontation took place aboard the Earth diplomatic vessel Olive Branch, a name that carried both promise and warning. Kalair arrived with a small delegation, his usual confidence somewhat diminished by recent developments. Aurelia had arranged the meeting carefully. The ship's position, while appearing randomly chosen, placed it within the heart of the Iron Shield's hidden network. As Kalair delivered his ultimatum, demanding that Earth demonstrate its military capabilities or be branded as deceiving its allies, Aurelia activated a hidden display system. The room's holographic projectors came to life, showing the true extent of Earth's defensive capabilities. The Iron Shield's network appeared as points of light surrounding not just Earth, but every allied world. The Zervani fleet positions, which they had thought so cleverly chosen, were revealed to be exactly where Earth's defense planning had predicted they would be. "Strength isn't measured by what we show, Ambassador Kalair," Aurelia said quietly. "It's measured by what we choose not to show." Operation Midnight Sun taught humanity that victory through force is hollow. We choose peace not because we must, but because we can. The demonstration had its intended effect. The Zervani ships began withdrawing from their positions near Earth's allies within hours. Kalair's final message was brief but clear: the Zervani had severely miscalculated their assessment of humanity. In the aftermath of the Zervani crisis, Earth's position in the galaxy was stronger than ever. The revelation that humanity's peace was maintained not through weakness but through careful preparation and choice earned them new respect among galactic civilizations. Aurelia stood once again at her favorite observation point in the Lunar Diplomatic Center, watching Earth rotate slowly against the star-filled backdrop of space. The weight of Operation Midnight Sun felt lighter now, transformed from a burden of secret shame into a lesson that had helped preserve peace once again. General Vale joined her, this time in person rather than via hologram. "The Zervani have withdrawn completely from Alliance space," he reported. "Their diplomatic corps has requested a series of cultural exchange initiatives. It seems they're eager to better understand our perspective on peace." Aurelia smiled slightly. "Understanding is the first step toward true peace. The Zervani sought to prove our weakness but instead discovered their own misconception about the nature of strength. Terran's analysis had revealed something else. The Zervani's aggressive stance had been born not of inherent hostility but of fear of what they didn't understand. Earth's response had given them something new to consider, that true power lies not in the ability to wage war, but in the strength to maintain peace. The long peace continued, not as a facade or a symbol of weakness, but as testimony to humanity's greatest strength, the wisdom to choose restraint over force, diplomacy over destruction, and understanding over fear. In the vast expanse of space, Earth remained a beacon of hope, proving that peace was not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of wisdom. And in the darkness between the stars, the iron shield maintained its silent vigil, a reminder that peace is preserved not just through words and wisdom, but through readiness and resolve. The greatest power, as humanity had learned and now taught others, was not in the weapon raised but in the weapon held in check, not in the force exerted but in the force restrained. The long peace endured, stronger than ever, a testament to the truth that real strength lies not in the power to destroy, but in the choice to preserve, protect, and pursue peace against all odds.